All right, Sean, we got Ford Motor Company here. America's greatest companies. Actually, just read or listened to uh, the biography about Ford, the original Ford, and like Ford Jr. and the way that they lived back in the day. Um, he actually, contrary to what we've heard in many textbooks, he wasn't the nicest boss.
Ha! Yeah, I've heard
So
that.
Henry definitely ran a strict ship. I mean, if you think about it,
You
like
would have been fired, right?
yeah, the assembly line. People, it appears that people have always hated the assembly line. They hate it now and they hate it before. Like it's you just literally just tying the same bolt all day, every day. 5 6 times a week, and people weren't like, oh, okay, cool. I went from working in the field to now working tying bolts all day, every day. Like people hated it back then. Of course, people hate it now. And but yeah, it built the Model T, and now it's still Ford and Tesla, the only American companies that haven't gone bankrupt. So there's something to that, I guess. What is it? Is it worth? It's worth over 60 billion right now. So, what are your thoughts on Ford?
As a company, obviously they make great trucks, and their cars have gotten better, and I think they're pivoting hard into the electric market, which I think is a smart thing to do. That's where this is going. Get ahead of the curve, and be the one that when they buy their when people buy their first electric car, you want it to be a Ford. You don't want it to be a Tesla or Chevy Volt or any of the other competitors. Get your product to market, and that's what they're doing. But that's going to take a while.
Yeah, the F-150 list, the waiting list is huge.
It's a, I mean, Ford trucks are
Yeah,
amazing pieces of machinery, but they're really expensive.
yeah, it's gonna be. I think they're saying that they always give you like the beginning price of like 50K, but the
Oh,
fifty
it's
k is just like four wheels in a truck. I think.
yeah.
You're trying to get all the components with it.
With maybe you get a tape deck with that too, but
Yeah, it's they're saying like a nice F-150 is gonna cost 80 to 90. The electric one, of course, and you're gonna be able to use it for 450 miles a year. So you're gonna be able to go from here to Vegas and back. You should be able to, or almost at least. But yeah, it's gonna be I think it's already coming out. Already came out, but I know that the waiting list is huge. So if you can get one of those, it's a great truck, I think. And I think that's gonna help out Ford. They're just gonna kill like you said, the electric market. They came out with that Mustang, but the Mustang seems kind of seems kind of shitty. I
yeah,
I mean, have you seen it? You've seen it, right? The electric Mustang.
they're not all gonna be winners.
Yeah, but I mean, electric F-150, dude. Sign me up.
Oh yeah,
I like it better than the Rivian. You get the same, you know, bulky truck that you've gotten from the past.
they just need to keep working on the battery life. That's the killer with a heavy truck like that. Putting
Yeah,
that
you can need
chassis on
400
that battery.
miles. You can need 400 miles. So I mean, it's
As far as the stock goes, though, it's reasonably priced right now. Price earnings ratio 5.365. So every dollar of earnings.
yeah, it's it's like 40 or 30 40% from its peak in January. So uh,
Yeah, and it got caught up in the same madness that all the other stocks did too. It's basically down to where it was during the beginning of the pandemic era in terms of price point. But I don't know. I don't know about this as a stock to buy right now.
yeah, I actually like it. I've always liked Ford. I even liked it when it was at $5 back in March of 2020. At that point, I knew it was a discount. I mean, I wasn't the smartest guy either. You don't have to be the smartest guy to realize that. But yeah, $5, $10, $15 still feels good. Like it's just a company that keeps on growing. I feel like they got solid fundamentals. I feel like you just can't go wrong with Ford. Um, I don't feel the same about other car companies, but Ford, I feel like they're solid and they're here to stay. Obviously,
Yeah, let's take a look. Ford, they're June 2022, so they should have their annual report coming out next month. So we'll have to revisit them. But June 2022, 40.19 billion in revenue, uh, and net income 667 million, which is up 18.89% year over year. Diluted EPS of 0.16. So they're profitable. Net profit margin is down year over year, about 21%. But with all the supply chain issues, who's to say that's? I mean, there just hasn't been that many cars on the market. They can't
yeah.
get the chips they need, and if you can't get it, you can't sell the car. So I mean, that obviously is having an impact. Um, it's not an expensive stock the way it stands now.
No, even relatively speaking, like even with Tesla, and I know Tesla is more than just a car company. Before you guys start hammering me on your comments, but even then, it's worth like a 12th or 15th of a Tesla. So why not just have 12 Ford stock, rather than four shares of 15 shares of Ford rather than just one Tesla one. Like, yeah, sign me up all day. Like, and I'm talking about relatively speaking, so you can spend 15 times less on Ford than you would Tesla, and it'd be revert the same as far as how far your money takes you. So yeah, sign me up with
Well, the
Ford.
stock's down about 26% year so far this year.
Yeah,
Could
so
that present a good buying opportunity? I don't know. It seems the consensus is it's a hold,
yeah, I think with
buy.
Ford, I think what you want to do is not just buy one time. Okay, cool, I'm a hold. I think you want to gradually get your foot in the door and buy it over the next 10 years. That way, you're getting your cost of average is going to be great eventually. I would say in 2024, 2025, if you buy assuming that the economy is going to continue to go down, you should be getting a great cost of average by the time 2024, 2025 hits, and you're going to be happy once 26 and 2030.
But the problem with car stocks in general is they have high expenses, A, and B, they're highly volatile and cyclical with the business cycle. So,
No, yeah, I think this is if you like hard stocks. Like I'm not saying just hard stocks in general because then we'll just it's a different subject. I think if you're a car guy and if you want to buy car stocks and you're debating whether Ford or Tesla or Volkswagen or Toyota, I think Ford is a safe bet.
yeah, definitely. I agree with that. It's a safe bet. But again, like all these stocks, the bottom line is what matters. And when your expenses are high, your bottom line is what's going to increase revenue to the investors and increase the share price. And when you've got high expenses and volatility with broader market forces, that's going to come out of the equity, the owner's equity, and so that's going to be you're going to get hit with that. But again, that could present a good buying opportunity um, in the coming months here as we see what's going on in the broader economy.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think I like it. So if you had $1,000, are you buying Ford?
I wouldn't yet. No, I'd wait see what it does in the coming months. I'd keep an eye on it. What about you?
What would be your strike price then?
Well, I want to see how their annual reports look at the end of September.
Yeah, I like Ford. Again, I wouldn't spend the entire thousand right now, but I
Dollar
would
cost average it out.
yeah just spend like $100, $100. And, relatively speaking, whether it's 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, you want to spread that money out. That way, your dollar cost average ends up being pretty good by the time 2025 comes around. So I would probably split it up into why not split it up into 24 months if you're going to be super conservative and just split that investment between now and 24 months. Every month you put the same amount. In case it does go from 15 to 35, at least you had something. Okay, cool. I have something to have some skin in the game.
Yeah, and we could see that, but I think it's a longer play than that. So I
Yeah.
think once they get their feet on the ground with their electric cars, then we're gonna see more
Right
of
now
that,
it's at
that price
66
range.
billion. Do you think Ford can be worth 100 billion in the next 5 years? From 66 to 100 billion?
40% increase.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think it's possible as well. We'll stay away from saying that it could be worth a trillion like Tesla one day, but
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
one
maybe
day it could be worth.
a trillion. Imagine that. Maybe I mean just
Oh,
just
well,
money in general, it's just gonna go up, right?
Tesla's not worth a trillion either. So
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys.